Gus Lamont, missing from Australia. This is my it's actually my third reading, but second reading that I'm posting. I'm going to keep the intro very short and brief on this one. Just let you know that the second or the resumed search has just been called off. They have found nothing. This is not a criminal investigation. It's still a search for a missing child. There are some red flags that are in this case, but I'm going to reserve my personal opinion here. Just in case anyone doesn't know, last we heard was they did not want anyone else to search the area or come out to try and assist. That's the community members to assist in this search. They also don't want people on the internet talking about it, including psychics. So, I just personal opinion, keeping it to myself. So let's get into this reading. And as you imagine, this would be an emotional, overwhelming case. So that's what the cards want to say about that. And yes, that would be very true. So let's see what the cards want to reveal about this case. I've had a meditation about this case. So I had the original dream, which is on my other video. I won't reproduce any of that reading. And I just had a meditation and I saw the ram horns that were on one of the buildings. So I don't know if it's the father's house and this is a sheep station. So in my meditation, I saw this big ram's head, like skull with the horns. So it's still around in my psyche, this energy. So I just want to see what else we can see. Now, my second reading that I done that I did not post, I've never felt so much hesitancy about a case before. I looked into the energy of each of the people involved or the family members. I'm not posting that. So I may at one stage post that, but not at this time. The cards are very onto the reading when they're talking about at the time that people were not allowed to search or go onto and the cards were very onto why that was happening, why that was said. So I'm not going to read that today. I'm going to look at different scenarios and the most likeliness that this could be the scenario, including abduction, falling down a well. We do know that it's not wild animals, and my cards are very, very clear last time that it's not an eagle. The eagles were not at fault. So I'm not going to take that scenario. I'm going to look at a cover-up scenario. I'm going to look at like something, he got into something and something happened to him. I'm going to look at he just wandered off and got lost. So I'm going to take a look at those scenarios. So first of all, let's liberate by struggle or liberation. Let's see what the cards want to reveal. Gus Lamont. Keeping this flowing, brief and quick. We've got the soul group and the carers. So we're looking at the carers and we're looking at the soul group or the family bonds. You can see family bonds written there. Family bonds, just keep that there for a second. Deep sadness, which they would be, I have no doubt. And also the frog is the medication, which we had that in the first reading, or some kind of hazy judgment. It could also be heat stroke, but we've got checked out, drugs involved. Just thought I'd just let that there. Now, just let you know that snake card, which I've found out that was in the first reading. The father's band had, I think it's like the cut snakes or something, and I couldn't figure out why. I read the message to you, what it meant, and I said, I don't think it's snake poison. You would have found the child would have just been very close to the homestead. But the father's band is, I think it's the cut snakes, I think they're called. Scenario. What's the likelihood that Gus was kidnapped or abducted? Cover up or tampering. Powerful person. Kept seeing that in the last reading. Out of the picture. So out of the picture. Was Gus Lamont kidnapped or abducted? Was Gus Lamont kidnapped or abducted? Had to get away. Okay. Inside job taken out. Had to get away. Had to get him away. A repeat offender. So maybe this something similar has happened in the past around Gus. I'm pretty sure I said that in the first reading too. What's the likelihood that there was he just got lost? He walked off and he got lost. Fell down a mine shaft, even though they're saying there's no mine shaft or wells close to the property. This is just distraction. What is the likelihood that he was taken by some kind of wild animal? Purposely disappeared. Innocent. Again, just a distraction. The other two cards says that there is some kind of suspicious activity. We have tied or restrained, but some kind of suspicious activity tied into it. Now, I got that in the second reading that I didn't post. There was suspicious phone activity or suspicious vehicle activity kept coming up. It's a likelihood Gus is still alive. Okay, group involvement. It says wrong direction. Wrong direction. Wrong question, maybe. Maybe don't ask that at this stage. Funny, this group one reminds me of the dream that I had. In the dream, he was taken. There was a few people there, at least two other people. Like in my dream, it was me plus two people. So, and I ended up in this shed. I was in this shed or garage kind of thing. So, and I'm not the only person that has said shed too, by the way. What is the likelihood that he was taken to a shed? Distraction. He was put in something or put in a room or a place. But check the timing. So maybe not when the timing was. Okay, so maybe there was an accident. Okay, let's check that scenario. That's interesting. That aligns kind of to the dream that I had. But also, another fact in this case is that he was last seen at 5:30 in the afternoon. Half an hour later, went to check on him again. Now, I understand farm life. My husband grew up on a cattle station, and the family still owns the cattle station, so it's not unusual for family members to be attending to animals around that time anyway, or to be doing some kind of farm work. So, and that's what the mother and the other grandmother was doing, was attending to the sheep at the time. Now, there is marks left behind. So let's talk about, okay, we've got narcissist there. I don't know if that was in the last reading or not. Oh, the thing that I was getting at was that they searched for 3 hours before, at 8:30 till 8:30 at night, before they called the police, and also didn't alert the father that he was missing, or ring the father to say, okay, what's the connection there? Why wasn't the father notified about the child's disappearance? He was unaware. So I was going to say not involved or unaware. He was unaware. Camera just went out. I've been having all kinds of technical issues today. The camera went out. I think the last spread that I was up to was father was unaware. I asked why wasn't the father told? It said he was unaware. We have money involved, group involvement, and something didn't go to plan. Okay, what's the likelihood that there was an accident that happened around the home and there was some kind of cover-up? And this is alleged, of course. We're just checking out different scenarios, and all information is alleged. Okay, what is the likelihood that there was an accident and it was covered up? Well, there would be evidence about that, or looking for evidence around that, of it being staged or framed. So looking for evidence of the scenario being staged or framed, or looking for the evidence about a confrontation that took place, or something that was staged or framed. Now, is there evidence? Is there evidence? Okay, not known. So not to current knowledge. Just bear with me for 1 second. Have the guilty card on the table here, but I want to just form that question in a stronger way. So please validate is there evidence of it, or that have they looked for evidence and there's no evidence? Which is the scenario you're trying to tell me here? No evidence is what they're telling me. There's no evidence of a staged situation. DNA, and they've been looking for DNA as well. Okay, have they found any unusual DNA around the homestead? Okay, so they've been looking, person of interest, maybe, so people of interest, DNA connection, looking at repeat offenders as well. Are we talking about repeat offenders in the area? Are they looking at repeat offenders in the area? Okay, I've got two things going through my mind here, so let me just come back. That was just a star card, but I had two questions going on. So are they looking at what is the likelihood that it was somebody in the area that has a record of this kind of thing? This is somebody walking a child. Repeat, a purposely disappeared. Crime of opportunity. Child was alone. By the way, that bottom card is more than one involved. Okay, I don't want to go too dark either. Okay, crime of passion or desire. Okay, show me, without me asking about the different scenarios, show me what happened. Okay, so again, we've got this liberation or bound by struggles, multiple issues. Ooh. I'm just looking at the death card on the bottom of the other deck. And then it says unexpected passing. Trying to liberate from something or get free from something. Was he caught in something? Multiple issues. Was he caught in something? One of the things that people say are that, like, he went into a animal kind of warren, maybe, in something. Again, that's that card that kept coming out last time. Dark, again. Please find me. Trying to get free. Okay, any way of knowing what that was, please? Two money cards. Okay, two money cards sitting there. Okay, okay, clearer, please. Okay, before I do anything, I just want to let you know that there was another case the day before. His name's Benjamin. He was erratically driving. It's also a South Australian case. He was heading in the direction of this sheep station, but ditched a car in the bushland 400 k's, so quite a while away from, likelihood that there's a connection here. But the unusualness that these two things happened at the same time. Nobody knows who this person is, last name. We don't know. People know him, obviously, but we don't know his last name, why he was driving erratically, where he is now. He's missing. He's missing, but his car was two crimes connected. That's what I'm getting at. I'm saying it's unlikely because the car was ditched so far away, like 400 kilometres, 4 hours, I guess, away from the sheep farm, but heading in the direction of the sheep station outback. Okay, that's my question. Are these two cases connected apart from timing? I think the other one's just like a legal situation, chaos situation around that person. His name's Benjamin. Is there a family connection? Again, connection. Is there a connection between Benjamin, the person that's now missing the day before, Gus, August? Is there any connection to him and says person of interest, fight or argument, group involvement? Okay, does he have any connection to family, friends, any connection to Gus in any way? Okay, we've got phone activity there on the table. Slow, that's 4 hours away. The car was 4 hours from the station. Is there any connection between these two cases, please? Distraction. Very clear picture of what happened to Gus Lamont, please. Negligence. Got the Ace of Swords. That's a breakthrough. Ace of Swords is also trying to find clarity in a situation, seeing it for what it is. It's thought, it's mental strategy. Well, not really strategy, but it's like a breakthrough in clarity, seeing the situation clearer. More clarity. It would have been getting dark there at night after, probably would have been getting dark around an hour after half an hour after they noticed he was missing, it would have been getting dark. So there wouldn't have been a lot of clarity. Maybe there was a bit of negligence there in that it was 3 hours later and they phoned the police. Maybe there was negligence around him being left out in the dark. Vehicle. In my second reading that I didn't post, something around a vehicle. It was right through that suspicious activity around vehicles or phones. What else can you tell me, please? Okay, there's a bit of red tape involved in this one. Around getting information. Want to try and find something that can be helpful and useful in this case. There's ongoing challenges with this case for sure. Resistance. I know they're saying the family's cooperating, but I'm feeling resistance for sure. There's definitely keep going round in circles is what I'm hearing as well. So I don't know if that's connected to the search circle or the what's being said. They're just going around in circles. That's what they're telling me. Something about going in a straight line instead of round in circles. Okay, misinformation going on around this case, media misinformation. When truth needs to be revealed here with this case. Keep throwing back to social media and misinformation instead of staying on track in a narrow line. So they keep throwing back for some reason to getting this off the internet. Or, okay, the message that came through was that this whole thing keeps going around in circles instead of going in a straight line with more urgency, and they keep throwing back to social media presence, or keeps throwing back to maybe, I don't know if it's getting it off the internet or having like no misinformation. Okay, could be the AI photos too there. That would make sense. That vehicle with him being put in a car that they're saying is AI. So I think that kind of thing, right, is what's going on there. The other thing that I've got is temptation, alibi, interrogation, alibi. Co-conspirator on the bottom. Okay, let's go back to the nice soft cards. This is the investigation, the connection. I always like this one with children cases. Again, they're telling me going around in circles. Okay, this brings to mind there's no birds of prey going around in circles in the area, which means maybe no remains. They keep searching the same areas or the same place, going around in circles. Needing to heal. Family needing to heal. Unprepared for the barrage of what comes at you, I guess. So it's not just the grief of missing children, that's what comes at you with the internet. Unprepared for that. Which way that goes could run either way as far as it's a good thing or a bad thing. Home. Okay, looking around the home, security, safety, cameras. Is there cameras around the homes in their areas? I want to check sheds of neighbouring properties. Security cameras. Now, I don't know if there would be too much security cameras. Yeah, it may not be. They may not get. It's not like they live in town where they have break-ins all the time. The security level of the home. What are you trying to tell me about the security of the home? Blink of an eye. Anything can happen in a blink of an eye on a property. Okay, so what did happen then? This is the Capricorn, but it's a sheep farm. That's a goat, but it could be representing the farm being a sheep station. And I also saw that's kind of the skull that I saw in my meditation with the horns. Horns, don't think they went back like that, but it was like that kind of shape. Lacking vitality, drained, lacking vitality. Youth, gone too soon. Had to go, released. Now, I know we said no eagles, but that's also something being carried by wings. A difficult time adapting. What does that say? Adjustment period. I thought I read trapped. Was Gus trapped at all in something? Different approach, it says. No, different approach. Again, we've got this teacher card that came out in the first reading, and I didn't really know what that meant. A learning experience, knowledge, or teacher. Please tell me what you're trying to say. More information on that one, please, because I didn't understand it. More information around timing. Timing, we need more information around the timing, and we also, again, have that dark tunnel or searching, needing more information, searching, freedom, dark tunnel, freedom, timing. Is there any connection to somebody outside of the family unit, the family extending on beyond the family? Is there any connection here to the disappearance? Checking the timing. Powerful person. This is where I always feel that energy. The disappearance of Gus Lamont. Any connection to anyone outside of the family? Again, we're looking at, kind of looks like that tunnel area. It is a tunnel. Harsh sentence. Okay, but it says drainage of waterway. Okay, slipping away here. The energy slipping away. We've got that. Okay, final words. Final spread. What can you tell me? Helpful information, please. Okay, it says missing. He's missing. Drugs again. Looking at arguments. Person is known, but they're looking in the wrong direction. Okay, that was the question I was asking. Are the police looking in the right direction? Are the police piecing the puzzle together in the right way? Please show me how close they are, or if they're on the right track. It said wrong direction as I was thinking of the question. Okay, trying to expose secrets. This is again path, seeking, searching, relationship they're looking at, inside out. So we're looking at inside taken out. So they're looking at the relationships at the moment, but they're saying they're not involved, or the one not aware. Not aware was the father, not aware that the child was missing at the time. But they're saying they're looking at the connections around the family, the relationships around the family, also that the father wasn't even aware the child was missing. They're looking at exposing different secrets around there. So are they looking in the right direction? Are they in the right direction? Because when I asked that, I said, are they looking in the right direction? And I got, well, where should they be looking? No. So they're breaking it down for me. They've got to look at their connections. They have to look at their connections. Again, they're saying father was unaware of that the child was. Why do they keep telling me that again? And they're saying exposing secrets. Maybe they're talking to the father for information because he knows some things and he's talking. Well, information they're currently being told help them solve the case. Authorities, this is the police. Round and round again. So that's where they kept saying going around in circles. So keep going around in circles with the evidence or with the information, but they keep coming back to there's been parent Josie and Josh. Yeah, person is known, kept in the dark, so that the father was kept in the dark about the information. So maybe the stories keep going back and forth. Maybe there's blame going on here, and they keep going round and round and round again. Checking the timing. What's the most helpful information you could give at this time? Okay, this is not a criminal case at the moment. It's a missing child. Strategy and planning. Okay, I saw the web of lies. This is final spread for sure. It's a very slow process. It's a very, very slow process. How can children just completely vanish and disappear? There could be some kind of mental illness here. Again, mental illness came up in the first reading as well. There's a struggle here around mental illness. There's lies and deception that came up in the first reading as well. A resilient, slow process here. And something left behind. I'm going to leave that here. I think I'm not going to edit and fast forward this one because I'll end up not putting it up. So I think I might just load it the way it is. Thank you so much for watching. I feel so defeated with this case. The cards keep saying the same thing, so that's one thing, I guess. And it's not like they're wildly throwing from one thing to another. They're kind of showing the same things, but I can't have the clarity to see what that is. But it's the same. They stay on the same track. So hopefully we all have a bit more clarity. Hopefully the law enforcement has clarity. They're the ones that need clarity, sending them lots of love and clarity, and hopefully they find the strings or the pieces they need to put this puzzle together. Thank you so much for watching.